Panharmonicon presents a podcast.
A square plus B square equals C square. Pythagorean theorem.
What's that all about?
Triangles.
What's this movie called?
Triangle. How many sides does a triangle have?
Try.
How many does? I'm kidding.
3.
Like what? Just like didn't. Yeah. What else about triangles?
They're pointy.
And they apparently are also boats.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can name about anything.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, this man said triangle.
It's not even shaped like a triangle. Why do you name it triangle?
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I guess there's you got the rudder, so that's, but then it's still like a curve.
That whole
Who's to
boat
say?
seemed like it was awkward to even be trying to have like a little day trip on.
Yeah, not a lot of space.
Poor Liam Hemsworth just out on the edge the
Yeah.
entire time having to deal with the sail
Truly, just. Oy.
on a boat that I'm pretty sure he said had an engine on it. But,
What else
No
has three
hustle.
things?
Panharmonicon Studios presents.
Wow. This
A
podcast. A
podcast.
podcast.
Yes, sir.
This podcast.
3 hosts.
1, 2, 3.
It's even 3 words. It's 4 words, but if you don't count the A.
Yeah.
This is one of your hosts, Damon.
And this is Andrew.
And this is Farron.
And we want to thank you for watching and welcome you to another episode of the podcast. If you can do some special things for us, we ask you every episode, but it's because we mean it every episode.
Mm-hmm.
We'd like you to subscribe if you're on YouTube, like you follow if you're on Spotify. If you can drop a comment, letting us know what you feel about this movie that we've decided to watch for this episode of the book club, as well as any movies that you'd like to see us do going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And also give us a like or a thumbs down, preferably a like, and a rating of 1 through 5 if you're on Spotify. Don't forget to follow if you're on Spotify either. With that out of the way, gentlemen, as we do every episode, I get to ask you guys how you are feeling today. What's been going on in your lives? I can start on this one.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I read about, no, I didn't read. I watched a YouTube video about the Wilhelm screen.
Ooh.
Okay.
So it was, so as far as it's known, it was done by an actor named Shel Woolley in a Warner Brothers movie. It was like a cowboy movie and done back in like 1951. And it was then used again in another of his movies. And then that was just kind of it. And then the LucasArts guy, not Lucasfilms guys, LucasArts are the video game guys. Lucasfilms guys kind of got a hold of it during like the Star Wars, Indiana Jones days, and started to like, it had been used a couple of times since then because it had entered like I believe Warner Brothers like
Sound library or something?
Sound library.
Yeah.
And so they started using it kind of as an inside joke amongst themselves. And
Very
then,
fun.
like their like studio of, because they like spun off to another studio, and their studio of people kind of would use it sparingly. And then it started getting a little bit too used in like the 90s. And apparently that's when it like took off as like the Wilhelm scream. Everybody knows the Wilhelm scream all of a sudden. And so it's kind of weird because the guy who kind of like the guy that feels that he over popularized it feels bad about it, but the guys who like kind of started using it, they're like, it's probably best that everyone that like it went from being like a maybe 20-person inside joke to like everybody now being in on the joke, because it's not like it lost its like luster as a joke. It's just everyone now gets to experience it, but everyone also like recognizes it. It's not like because there was a period of time where like certain movie studios would say, whatever you do not use that screen.
Okay.
So there was a period of time where people were just like, "Don't touch it."
Yeah.
Like, but then like it eventually got back to a point where people were just like, "Yeah, if you want to put it in there, you put it in there." And I thought it was really fascinating because it showed that geeks can really just be so weird at times, but also so human.
Yeah.
At times, because to fall in love with such an odd sound, and then somehow by like just being good enough at your job that you eventually get to a point where even like being able to input that joke gets it seen or heard by like way too many people. Like
just taking a bit too far.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, if they had just forever were doing like indie films with like George Lucas in the 70s, nobody probably really cared about the Wilhelm scream. But like putting it in Star Wars and putting it in Indiana Jones, and then it just being able to take off from there, just is like, that's such a human experience. Like that's mimetic, and it's like just very nature.
Yeah. And
I just thought that was a good watch. It wasn't as long as the Coke watch, but it was still great. And then the documentary, if I do remember to put it in, I might put it in as a comment in this episode. Just to the documentary itself, because it was nice. I like watching documentaries, like especially like little short, like 30-minute ones that just like work really well.
Yeah.
All right, you guys
been all right. Finished Shangri-La Frontier.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, it's only 2 seasons. I think the 3rd one is in production, so just got to be patient, which always is a bummer. And then I believe when this is coming out, a couple of episodes of the new season of JJK, I think, will be out. So
I still have not started Jujutsu Kaisen's 3rd season.
The 3rd season?
Yeah.
But you've seen 1 and 2?
Yeah, I've seen 1 and 2.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was doing a rewatch just because I'm so excited for just the rest of the story to come out, just to see it on the big screen. Because they animate this show and just the fights so well. I'm quivering in my boots. I'm very excited.
For sure.
It's way better than One Punch Man Season 3, the way they animate it.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one, so good thing I didn't.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It is, yep.
I haven't watched it either. I've heard the animation is pretty poor, though.
Yeah, it is poor.
But I think it's showing more that, like, the weirdest thing is I don't want to say they're being rushed, because they almost had, like, a decade, it felt like.
To
make this season.
I'm pretty sure season 1 was like 2015, with season 2 being 2018, I think.
Sounds right.
So 2025.
You had time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even if you were doing it like a cell like a
At a
day,
time.
you had time.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I am okay. And I say it like that just because I want to get to talking to this movie, because this movie put my mind in not a good space, and I mean in the sense of like,
it's not how movies should be made.
And I just saw this thing from the critics' consensus on Rotten Tomatoes about this film, and I'm like, that's not accurate at all. I don't understand. This movie just was not it. But other than that, I'm good. Outside of that, I'm good. Yeah, life be lifing.
Mm-hmm.
Life do be lifing.
Life do be lifing, man.
And along with life is a little brain teaser for you gentlemen. I'll spare you the semantics that I usually do, and I'm just going to start right off.
Okay.
So, after freeing himself from a simulation, the man attempts to free others as he is pursued by a trigger-happy vigilante. Yeah, so took you off with that vigilante part, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You thought it was going one way.
What way do you think that we thought it was going?
What do you think I think? It's probably like the 3rd time.
It sounds like Matrix. Sounds like Matrix. Oh boy. Okay, so can we get it one more time?
Yep. After freeing himself from a simulation, a man attempts to free others as he is pursued by a trigger-happy vigilante. Now, here's the funny part. There is another movie that it could be a reference to, but the movie that it ended up being was very shocking to me because it was not what I guessed.
Okay.
Trigger happy vigilante. What words did you use to describe the person who is waking people up from a simulation?
It just says a man.
A man.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right.
It's good
He
to
didn't
clarify.
have any adjectives.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say like, man, like a scared man or like a something, a blue man. He wouldn't be blue.
Blue Man Group?
Well,
Dabba-dee-dabba-da.
Okay. Trigger happy vigilante. Interesting.
Do we focus on
time-
that part, or do we focus on the
Simulation.
But yeah, year.
1993.
Terminator.
I think that's 91.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not
brutal.
good.
A trigger happy vigilante. I also feel like vigilante is
Such a specific word
Yeah.
to use. Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
No.
Okay.
I wanted to like try to be like that's close. It was just like no.
Virtuosity?
It's not close. No.
Not
No,
virtuosity?
either. No.
Genre.
I'm so glad you asked that because I literally was bringing it up. Action comedy.
Action
comedy.
comedy. Simulation. In a comedy.
A trigger happy vigilante. 93. Action comedy from 1993. Huh. Oh boy.
I'm gonna say that the vigilante may not really be the right word for him. I'm gonna switch it and say assassin.
I don't know if that.
I don't know if that's gonna help you, but I think vigilante would have. I think because you may have started to focus too much on vigilante,
Yeah.
but he really isn't a vigilante.
Assassin. In 93.
Mm-hmm.
Simulation 93.
Lawnmower. No. I would say Lawnmower Man.
I can see why you would think that to some degree. The simulation part.
Yeah, that's... God, did they make a live action version of Reboot? Well, the Reboot probably came out after 93.
This would have been after, yes.
So
He
he's
also
an
doesn't
assassin.
100% free himself.
Oh.
But he 100% frees others?
Well, he's
No,
trying
he's
to.
attempting to free others.
Has he freed anyone successfully, completely?
The vigilante, the assassin, technically.
The person who...
The assassin
the man
comes from
whose
the
job it
simulation
is?
as well.
Is there some sort
It's not like
of...
it's his job to bring him back into the simulation.
Cool World? Cool World? Cool...
What is Cool World?
There's a movie called Cool World, right?
I don't know.
No, dude, there's a movie called Cool World. There's...
Cool Runnings?
Cool... No.
Waterworld?
No. It's like a movie that's like one of those like half... Yeah, it's like half... Yeah, Cool World. It's half real people, half cartoon.
Tron?
Yeah, with Brad Pitt.
Tron in the
I've
90s?
heard it. No, Tron was in the 80s.
Brad Pitt.
Hey, man, I believe you. I'm still trying to...
Huh, okay. It's like a Roger Rabbit type of deal.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking it's like you pulled someone from like a video game like on accident, and then now they're trying to kill you. But
Yeah, what's like that?
But wow, but what's the movie?
You pulled somebody by accident, they're trying to kill you.
Because he's saying he didn't free himself fully from the simulation, so I'm assuming it's like a video game or like pulled it from like a movie or something, and then it's why am I in the real world? I'm gonna kill you,
Shit, dude. That's time.
Oh well, there we go.
Yep.
It's 1993's Last Action Hero. starring
Oh
Arnold
my...
Schwarzenegger.
Oh.
Wow. Arnold. Close with Terminator, but not.
You were actually getting there. Like you were talking about, like getting pulled from the simulation is a movie.
Okay, there you go.
It also
Damn.
almost applied to Jumanji.
Oh,
Which is why
that's
it
a
was-
good one too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's the other one.
I feel like the things that should be coming to my mind are never coming to my mind. Like, how did I not even think... Jumanji never even... Last Action Hero also never crossed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like that whole thing of like, oh, you put on the spot. What's your favorite ice cream? Cherry vanilla. It's like, oh, I don't like cherry.
Unicorn nugget? Like,
Yeah.
Nah, you can put me on the spot. I know that.
Yeah, that's right. But it's one of the, just like the phenomenon of your brain, just like.
But yeah,
I
your
should know this.
brain will just start be like blanks. And you're like,
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's not helpful.
good
Very
grief.
cool. All right.
sir.
Well,
All right. Well, it's time for our feature presentation.
feature presentation.
In a world where a mom is a really bad mom.
What?
I said, in a world where a mom is a really bad
Oh,
mom.
it's just a really bad bomb. I was like, oh,
I thought I heard
I
Bone
think
too.
I watched the
I
wrong
was like,
movie then. I
Did you
think
watch
this is-
the South Korean movie?
Oh, so for today's feature presentation, yacht passengers encounter mysterious weather conditions that force them to jump onto another ship, only to have the odd havoc increase.
Is that the official?
That is the synopsis as it is provided on Rotten Tomatoes.
Trash synopsis.
That in itself
For a
could
bad
be
movie. Yeah.
a poorly explained movie plot.
There you go.
This is 2009's Triangle.
British.
A British-Australian horror movie released in October of 2009 with a budget of $12 million.
Really?
And
and a box office of
Most of that's probably me.
1.3 million.
Oh,
1.3
that's good. I'm glad to hear.
Hey,
And you know what? To that, if I could add,
you can.
$1.3 million is what it's made. Here's the critics' consensus as it is shown on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
Triangle sails into some strange waters, but this intelligent, well-acted horror outing anchors its idiosyncrasies in a satisfying, scary story.
Nope. Anchors is a fun little
Right?
hot boats.
I mean, they thought they were being clever, like
They-
the movie
yeah.
writers did. So, I mean, that critic synopsis is from a 78% critics score versus a 66% audience score on Rotten Tomato, 3.3 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb. It never came to America, which is probably part of its 1.3 million box office reason. Could not find domestic numbers. Well, yeah, because I couldn't find domestic numbers for it, so I'm assuming it just did not ever come here.
Yeah.
But in UK, what was happening in October? Up came out in October of that year. Correct?
Oh.
The Michael Jackson movie This Is It came out. Zombieland.
Okay.
The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Isn't that like Heath Ledger's last movie? Or am I thinking about another?
That might be some. No, I think he might be in it. And Cirque du Freak, The Vampire's Assistant.
I didn't think there was going to be more to that title.
She's on my freak till I...
Huh?
Nah, I got nothing.
The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, actually, I did read like a little bit of the synopsis. I thought it actually might be, because it was kind of like a going up against God type movie.
Well,
But so it is British Australian, but there aren't any British people in it. It's almost nothing but Australian actors.
Oh,
And
okay.
I believe it was done in Australia.
gotcha. Because I was going to be vulnerable and ask. The Hemsworths are
Australia.
Australian. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So
Australian.
they're not.
Pretty much everybody in this movie is Australian.
There you go.
But no one adopted an Australian accent.
It
It
was.
is, that's my very thing. I was like, is this a movie where a bunch of Australian people act like Americans?
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to take place in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
It just really could have just been. I don't understand why it had to be American.
Yeah.
Like, it could have just been an Australian movie.
Yeah.
And it is also not a good movie.
No.
No, it is not. No, it is not. And so I apologize. So there's like people listening know when we talked about doing Groundhog Day, it was like, okay, well, time loop movies. And I was looking at movies that I know, movies that I've never heard of that are time loop films. And I found a couple when I was Googling, and some of them I heard of. Some of them, as I read the synopsis, didn't really sound like they were the exact kind of time loop films that I would consider time loop in a traditional sense. But then I saw this one, and it had these ratings that looked like they were pretty good. And I'm like, okay, this might be pretty slick. I love horror films, and it's horror. 15 minutes into the movie, I literally wrote a note and said, why does this movie have such good ratings? I can't understand it at all. Why it has those ratings. I don't get it.
Because 15 minutes into the movie would be, I think, just when they're hitting the storm. Is that right?
I don't even think it's that far into it.
Nah,
It might be they're still like sailing right before the
still on
storm
the boat.
hits.
Okay.
Yeah.
This movie.
Because my jumping off, I don't know if that's another boat thing, but when they were like, oh, what's that? And then they see bad weather and they're like, let's not worry about that. Let's get on the radio. It's like, and then he was like, oh, there's got an engine. Never deployed the engine. Like, can we not just
I was sitting there.
Thank you.
I actually
Move-
literally
Thank you.
wrote a thing about the engine right before he said they had an engine. I was like,
Yeah.
what kind of boat like this doesn't have an engine?
Yeah.
And then he was like, we got an engine. I was like, why aren't you using the engine to
Thank
begin
you.
with?
Thank you.
then skedaddle.
Yeah,
Get
dude.
out of this.
Like, or at least have a line, something throwaway where it's just like, oh, I tried to start the engine. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
At least you acknowledged it.
Yeah.
Like, I think my issue with this movie stems from a feeling of pretentiousness.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this movie I feel like the people who wrote this movie think it is far better than it actually is executed.
Sure.
And I think that because it's supposed to be this, like, oh, what happened in the end? Or do you understand it? Let's ask questions. Let's start making 40-minute YouTube videos about it. That makes critics consider it to be better than it actually is.
Yeah. Because
at the end of the day, it doesn't do anything that it sets out to do well. It just does it. And it's so, like, I won't say, so there are people who act okay in this movie. I would say Miss George, I forget her first name, the main character, Melissa George, does an okay job. I actually think she does, like, towards the end better than she does at the beginning. At the beginning, she falls into a horror movie trope that I have started to realize exists the more that you've made me watch horror movies.
I'm sorry.
That I don't really appreciate all that much. And it's when a character just chooses to stop communicating.
Oh, yeah, when they just, like, say, like, oh, this is so weird.
Yes. And,
like, why is it weird?
Like,
yeah,
it's
sorry,
very,
guys.
like,
Oh,
there
you're
are
fine.
many times where, like, she could help solve a problem if she just talked. But instead, she's just sitting there, like, mouth agape, staring at you, and you're like, you're not helping the situation.
Yeah.
But you're not giving me a reason as to why you're sitting here staring at me, mouth agape, or barely, like, uttering words. Like, there were multiple times throughout the very beginning of the movie where she would, like, look at something, and then she would turn around, but not say anything and just stare off into the distance. And I was like, there are 4 times she's done this now. And then suddenly she started doing it, but talking, or after she would do it, but she was still doing it. And it wasn't until the full loops started happening that I realized that that's supposed to be the deja vu moments.
Yeah.
And when she turns, that's her subconsciously knowing that
Like,
something
what's-
is about to
Right.
happen, and she
Yeah.
needs to be looking in that direction for it
Yeah.
to happen. That's not clever. That's dumb. Because she starts doing it again in the second loop, and you're like, you're still conscious of the first loop, and you are recognizing it. Why are you still doing it?
Yeah.
But she continues to do it. But everyone else almost doesn't even get enough time to show that they can act.
Because they just died.
They just
Yeah.
start dying. Like, Emma Lung is in this movie for like 10 minutes, and then you never see her again.
Dude,
Is
and
that
I was
Heather?
wondering, Heather, exactly. And I sat there wondering, okay, she's going to come back. Nothing.
She just gets a bad rap. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like, she
Sucked
supposedly
away in the
drowns,
skull.
and
Yeah,
that's
that's-
it. There's not. It's just so weird that you would never address that again. Now, I didn't say never. Like, there's obviously the shots of, I think his name's Downey and Sally and their conversation. Well, maybe she made it to this boat. Maybe something. Fine, whatever. But, like, it's such a throwaway character. You know, in a film in which you only have 5 or 6 characters to focus in on,
Yeah.
you could have just easily have not had her at all, and it wouldn't have changed really any. The only thing would have changed is the conversations that Sally and Downey would have had when they were in those walking the corridors of the ship.
Or I guess at the start where Sally gets to be, I guess she would have to be less of a bitch of just being like, I don't like this woman. Why? Greg's hanging out with her. I think she's taking advantage of him. It's like, do you know that for a fact?
Yeah. Or what about Downey's line of, oh, like, well, trust me, man, she's the best looking friend that she had. I'm like, okay.
Whoa.
I as soon as I heard that line, I'm like, I already don't like this guy.
Yeah, he's...
That was just like a douchebag line. And the movie, I wrote in my notes, like, dude, the movie, the writing of this movie is so freaking lazy. It is insane. Liam Hemsworth, Victor has a line. When they go and see the full spread of food that somehow is just made available on this boat and looks fresh in that moment, looks like you got your welcome party, just not the welcome. Never heard that line before. Like, how cheesy could we get with this writing?
It feels like, is The Hills Have Eyes? Is that the one that's the parody? No, what's the one that has the Hemsworth in it that's like a parody of horror movies? Where they like have to hit tropes.
Are you talking about those movies that were like the scary movie type movies?
No.
Or?
It's the one where Cabin in the Woods? No, not Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, Cabin in the Woods. You know,
Oh, yeah, Cabin in the Woods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like that, but like they thought they were serious when they were writing these lines. Like they didn't. It's like they were writing the lines that are like genius, but then they're like, no, this is just like your standard fare.
Yeah.
Like, but no, genius. So the movie is okay. Enough about the badness of the movie. Just the movie itself.
I'm not done yet.
I know. So the movie is about. It's supposed to be about time loops.
Mm-hmm.
This is a time loop month, after all. My original thought was, is it a time loop movie when all the time loops have happened already? But then we start having more time loops, and we see that it is, to a degree, a time loop movie. It's just not in the way that the other two movies that we've done so far are, and that it is, unlike in the other two movies that seem to have ways out of the loop, there is no out of this loop, because it is pretty much determined at the end that Jess is dead, but she's in like a Sisyphean type loop in which she appears to be given an out, the way that Sisyphus is given the out of, if he gets it all the way to the top and over, then he is freed.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll never be able to do that, much like Sisyphus is, like, gravity will always yank the stone back down the mountain. So she is given like the belief that she can get out of this loop as long as she meets certain qualifications, really, that she gave herself.
Yeah.
No one gave her these.
Yeah.
These.
I was just having that thought of like, how does she know that she has to kill them? But then I guess it's because I said so. Yeah. Like my other version of me.
I think because there was that one scene where she realized, who was it that died? It was somebody that died. I don't even want to call it a third act. I have no idea what this movie are broken into, but she sees that somebody dies, or I think it's when Sally dies,
like
and
in a big pile of herself,
Sally's, which I do gotta admit was such a cool and just terrifying, I think, concept.
Yeah,
of somebody crawling through piles of themselves that are dead.
Why would you then crawl through?
I don't understand.
I would be like, let's not. I die here. Let's go somewhere else.
Issue with that is the inconsistency in it.
Okay.
So there are times where the movie wants to show you that
it's like a contained...
that there's like loops, right? Yeah. And that, oh, you think she thought of a new thing, but in reality that's something that's happened before.
Bigger, yeah.
So there's all these Sallys up on top of the deck. There's all the lockets in the hole. Yeah. There are all the seagulls on the side of the road. But how come there aren't extra like Gregs in the theater, considering he seemingly is shot in almost every single loop?
Theater. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, yeah.
Why aren't there extra Victors?
Like the same way that Sally's are. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good point. Good point.
And it's like they had to hide those because they needed to get the loop. Yeah. But then when they like establish that the loop exists, all of a sudden now there can be moments where there are all these like. It's been happening, but why isn't that the case all the time? Why is there no internal consistency throughout, like, the movie giving you information?
Yeah, because I think Downey, I think
at
he
least
always
Downey's
gets thrown off.
That she takes him and she throws him off the side.
Yeah, but then
except not always, because there are times where she stabs him a whole bunch of times in a room, and he's left in the bathroom. But I thought it comes back, and then it's like her with the resolve. She drags him out and then throws him over. But then that would be two different Downeys that she has to then take to.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair, because like, why would she be clearing it? Because in the theater area. I'm pretty sure Sally and Downey die, like, in the first pass through, at least that we see.
Because when she's up top with the shotgun.
I'm pretty sure she kills them with
because they're
they're
laying in the...
Sees...
Whoa, hey, good point.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So, that's... Yeah. And also, like, could the others see their dead former selves? Like, when Sally's crawling through the pile of dead Sallys, can she tell that there's other dead Sallys?
It's so hard to tell because she seemed to be, like, in death throes at that point.
Yeah. Well, because no one saw... Because Victor didn't see Downey.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh
she
yeah, when
threw
she was
the
like,
thing
"Hey,"
in
But
the
by the time
sequence-
that she turned, like the body had disappeared because I think at that point
everyone
that
was
end of that
dead.
loop was happening
Yeah,
and it was restarting.
yeah,
So that dead Downey disappeared basically. He server refreshed. And
Yeah.
the current alive Downey was the one that
Well,
was
the
why
boat,
would there be
yeah.
not like a server refresh for all the
For
salaries?
salaries.
Like, so again, like
They-
eternal inconsistency is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
because
like,
it's a bad
that's-
movie. There we go.
Good grief, dude.
Yeah, no,
That's-
good. That's a wow. Good eye.
This is gonna sound. I'm gonna sound like a Maxxinista here. And the Maxxinista, for anyone listening, is somebody that shops a lot at TJ Maxx. Those shoes that she was wearing,
those wedge sandals
Those-
that she's rocking.
yes.
Yeah.
Her maneuverability in those bad boys is
Insane.
unmatched.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry. So speaking of two things.
Yeah, yeah.
One, would you not have noticed? Okay, if I'm fighting somebody and I look down, it's like, okay, they look like a mechanic with a burlap sack over their head, but why are you wearing those TJ Maxx wedges? Like, she didn't put on different shoes when she put on that, like,
I mean,
little
that's why
mechanic
Greg
suit.
recognized her.
Yeah, yeah.
Somehow she didn't recognize herself though.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but she was like, oh,
Because she had the.
But I guess she
yeah.
never got a chance to look down at her feet because she was
Right.
too busy with a gun pointed to her face.
Also, I love this. Is just her just slinging the gun. I thought was
that was
so
that chain of
funny.
events.
Like, yeah.
Pissed me
Yeah.
off actually.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, of course.
just moments earlier, she like grabbed the gun,
Mhm.
whipped it back and forth,
Yeah.
whipped her off, rolled to the side, did a Black
Yes,
Widow type
yes.
whip
It's
around the gun like floor maneuver
Yeah.
to jump down to the other end,
Yep.
started just dipping. Then gets to this edge and all of a sudden it's like, I gotta figure this out
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah.
And she's like, I ain't got no more. He just tossed this gun and hits her with it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why couldn't you just Black Widow flip off of that one since you did everything else?
When she escaped, though, from that scene where she's on the ground on her back and, you know, pleading for her life, please,
Yeah.
I have kids.
I have
No,
a son.
kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't do this. I thought that was like her awakening moment.
Yes.
Because the way she grabbed that gun. I'm
Yes,
like, okay,
it was
she
like,
has
oh,
more
she's
skill.
a splinter cell.
Yes.
Like that was her activation phrase.
I thought for a split second
Yes.
until she got hit with the gun.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was like,
especially
oh,
when
okay.
she does that and straight rolls from there to like rolling off that level and then grabbing the ledge and swinging down to the. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so she remembers now. Nope.
But also and then you're at that point. You have the gun. You know what you're gonna do. So then you know where to not aim and shoot to kill yourself. Like
the end loop, I was
Yes.
like, why are you still doing this exactly the way that you saw it
just
happen?
yeah,
Like you know what it's supposed to happen. Why are you even doing it? You could
Yes.
just jump off the boat.
right.
Like
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
what your end goal was to do. Why are
Yeah.
you doing this?
They're also just like she had no plan.
Yeah.
And it made me mad. So your point about communication earlier, when we were talking about this, of just like, oh, the trope of like people who just stop communicating. But in this sense, it was not only that, but when she would look at Sally or just even talking to herself, like, this is what we're going to do. And when the triangle comes back, we're going to get in the boat, we're going to leave. You got off that triangle because the boat is done.
Yeah,
the
it's
boat
flipped.
capsized. Like,
Yeah.
you're not using that boat to get off of anything. Why is this even part of your plan? And why are you saying this plan with such a level of excitement as if you think there's any believability that it could actually work?
That you cracked it.
Well, I think she was just desperate.
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
Like,
Just
I think there are times, and honestly, I would have rather they gave you that she's doing that because she's desperate,
Right.
Or the times where she says, like, even though she now recognizes that there's a loop going on and that there's a her like doing things, that she keeps saying, "I'm not doing those things."
Yeah, it's like, that's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would have been like, oh, if you're saying like, especially at the end when she's like in the car,
Yeah.
and she says that person who did
That
all that,
wasn't
that's
mommy.
not me. That's
Yeah.
not mommy. Mommy's here. I'd be like, oh, she's crazy.
Mhm.
That's great, but then like, you don't do it. And
Yeah.
it's like you had great moments to characterize her in a way that would have made what's happening not even make more sense, but be better.
Yeah.
But you chose not to because you thought you were being
Clever.
Clever.
Yeah.
And it comes down to just your writing is the writing of someone who thinks they're being clever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I finished that movie, and the only even reason that I decided to look more into it was because I was like, not so much I needed to understand, was like, do other people think this is a good movie?
Yeah.
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 I also don't think that there really wasn't any. It's one of those films. There are horror films, and I understand that they will do that where they kind of lean on confusion to almost, I don't know, I guess what I would assume is try to make the film better, but that do it in better ways that actually make me want to have the conversation about what was going on and make me want to look into things more and make me want to look into symbolism. Like, whoa, what do seagulls mean? What do dead seagulls mean, or something like that? But this film, when it was done, I was like, I don't want to look at anything else.
I wasted enough
with
time.
this movie is done.
Yeah.
Dude, it was just, it felt like a complete. This is, and I know we had this conversation on like a couple of recording sessions ago about like negative Panharmonicons not necessarily indicating that I want time back. I want time back.
Yeah.
Because there's just too many things, like, so pretentious, so confusing. Like, what do those even other characters mean to her? Like, who are they in the grand scheme of her life? They have these conversations that ultimately go nowhere, and they're just all throwaway lines, which is why it feels like it's written so lazy. Because at one point, I think Craig says to her, "Oh, you worry about the accident? Like the accident wasn't on you, or something like that." But he offhandedly mentions one time in one of the loops, he mentions an accident that she's responsible for, and then they never go into it. And then the movie ends with there being an accident. But how would he have known? When did this act? When it does not frame anything.
Yeah.
To which, when you finally get the answer, you feel the satisfaction of
a whole complete.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is just more of, why did you do this?
Mm-hmm.
So I think their goal was to make you never think that the loop was going to end. So as a result, they obfuscated a whole bunch of the beginning parts, like how she was really treating her child, and basically trying to make you think throughout this entire movie that her desperation to get back to him was born solely out of just like her consistent pure love of him. When in reality, it's her guilt for treating him that way and him dying before she could ever do anything about it. She just doesn't recognize that she herself is also dead. I am assuming that the other members of the boat group are not real.
They're not part of the whole, Okay.
And that they are just figments of, I guess, since we're going off of the Greek tragedy part of this, like, Hades is, like, overall, like, attempt at making her just have to relive it over and over again. And I think if she had to do that by herself, like, fully by herself, she might not, because there wouldn't feel like there was an impetus for her to like move forward, or give her a reason to have to, like, because obviously she'd probably just keep offing herself over and over and over again if it was just her. But by there being all these other people, it gives her,
like, she needs to save these people too, not just herself,
which eventually devolves into her madness of saying she just needs to kill them so that she can restart the loop, so that she can stop them from ever getting on the boat in the first place, which is ultimately her goal. That's her way of thinking that she can break the loop. And then she realizes she can't do that, so she thinks just getting off the boat herself will break the loop. But she's been in the loop from the beginning. So the very end of the movie, the part where she crashes and all that, happens before the movie begins. Which is why we get that like weird moment where she's like at her house talking, and then the next thing we know, she's like getting like off out of the cab and onto the boat. Because they didn't want to show us that part.
Yeah. And I can understand that piece of it being like, because that also just adds to the, like, here's an element that makes you pose a question and that you want resolution for, so you keep the stream rolling and you keep watching this until the very end. But that's all fine and well. But again, if you're going to structure it and build around the kid, like, can you have more visual connection of that character to the kid? Because I saw the kid once in the very beginning of the movie, and then you never, not even in the form of illusions, not even the form of figments of her imagination in there, do you see her son again until the very end of the film.
Like all the times that she kept seeing herself, I thought it was going to be her kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, her kid never shows up again until the end of the movie, and you're like, well, wasn't a great impetus of keeping her moving forward be visions of her child moving around?
Yeah.
Like we saw that in Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Like
With the lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like You had that movie to study. Why did you just study that movie?
They had plenty of movies to study.
But yeah, that was I mean, it'd be beating a dead horse to continue saying the things about the movie that I'm like looking at. I will say that I had a list of who I thought was going to die first.
Oh,
okay.
And I only got one right.
Oh, who'd you get right? The Victor? Heather. Oh, yeah.
I knew she was going first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know when Victor... I knew Victor was going to die. I didn't know when he was going to die.
He was my last one.
Heather, I was like, oh, she has to be first because she seems like the person who has the least... It's like, it's always the person whose their connection
like her
to
connection
the
was
group
like...
is always on the fringe.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, okay, you're going to die first.
Yeah.
And it was like her and Jess were on the fringe, but Jess is the main character. So she got the plot armor. So it was like, Heather's going. And then I wrote The Millionaire and His Wife, but they ended up being like the last ones that I actually...
Yeah, because it was what? Greg, then Victor? Then...
I guess technically you could say it's Heather and then like Victor and Greg are almost like at the
kind
same
of back to
time.
back. Yeah,
because he doesn't die when he like gets stabbed in the back of the head.
Which how do you do that?
Was that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that is not the explanation that I expected
for the whole. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, because like
not.
it was what, like a coat rack? Like it didn't
apparently
seem
she
to be...
pushed him with the force of Thor because like
Hemsworth. Sorry.
Because I would think you just like, ow.
Yeah, yeah, it wouldn't pierce like, but then how did it go in? And then he's still able, like he can still use his spine because it was like at the base of his neck.
Base of his, yeah. I don't know. It's one of those injuries. It kind of reminds me of this one injury from it ultimately killed her. But in Walking Dead, this character gets a arrow through her eye from the back, so it goes through her brain, like through, and she continues to talk for a little bit before she completely dies. But even still, it's to your point about that push. The Hemsworths, well, at least the two that are usually in the limelight, Liam and Chris, pretty tall dudes, pretty big dudes.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that Jess's character would have been the equivalent, especially with those wedges, like maybe 5'3". So you're telling me that she pushed him, like the actress? Oh, so you?
I did because of the fact that I noticed that she kept looking like she was like the same height as Greg.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's like. Then I noticed that. Then when she started running around and I saw she was in wet heels, I was like, oh, she's 5'7".
Oh.
So in the heels, she
like
would have been like 5'10".
Yeah.
Okay.
But it still wouldn't have given her like
enough,
the almighty push to be able to just launch him into it.
You shall know pain.
It's such a lazy way to explain the fact that he had a hole in his head. Like, when this character comes back on screen and he's covered in blood and he's stumbling that way, and you show me a hole in his head that looks like it could fit like 3 fingers, I'm not expecting that your protagonist pushed him accidentally. And so really there were no threats on that. Well, I guess maybe that's also the point, but I also just don't understand the ship itself. Like, I thought that it was going to have some kind of tie to something that maybe happened in the past, purely because of like the food that was there. And then you see the food once and it's fresh, and then maybe you go back around the corridors a little bit and you come back to it and it's all moldy. But then I'm thinking, okay, is it really there at all? Was this how it always was?
No, I don't believe it's there, which is why she never actually eats it.
Yeah, because Downey's
Notice
the
only
only
people that eat
like
it are Liam.
banana.
I keep calling him Liam, but Victor and Downey are the only ones that.
Because he eats like an apple or something. Yeah. But
this movie was dumb.
Yeah, it was not great.
Yep.
So is that it?
Yeah,
feel
that's
sufficiently covered?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Unless you guys got anything else to say, I'm sorry. There's just so much. I was just.
No, it was. I had 2 questions at the end that that you guys answered. I guess when I was done. Oh, you're fine. When I was done watching, and it was, how did she survive the car crash, and then does she lose her memory during the nap? And it is, she does not survive, and that's apparently, according to a 40-minute YouTube deep dive, that's how the loop goes. Is she does lose her memory during her nap. So there we go.
So I could explain the whole like.
The deja vu.
The two. So there are 2 full loops, but the loops are like
Part
in
of it.
reality more like 4 to 6 loops.
Yeah.
But they break it down basically into a red Jess and a blue Jess.
Mm-hmm.
And red Jess is the one that we follow. Blue Jess is the one that red Jess sees when she's so like red Jess's full loop ends with her end up getting the burlap sack and jumping off or falling off, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
And blue Jess's ends with her killing burlap sack Jess and then throwing her off of the ship.
Mm.
And so blue Jess's is the one with like the stabbing of Downey and Sally, Sally contacting the triangle.
Yeah.
So it's all the parts that like we experience as they're getting to the ship.
Yeah.
And then ours is all red Sally. Or red Jess, I should say. But then there are like slight variances off of those, but because they all end up in the same loop, it's just considered 2 loops. So they're like the slight variances like how she sees that blood on the
Like go to the theater
side on the thing
before
before we ever see Downey be taken off and put off to the side. And that's because Victor crawls himself out and then over the side, which is, I guess, their way of saying, like, that's how we've been getting rid of Victor this entire time, so there aren't just piles of Victors when they should run into him. There still isn't any explanation for Greg, but, and then, like, times that she loses the locket, times that she doesn't lose the locket, times that she drops her keys, times that she doesn't drop her keys, and things like that. All in all, it wasn't worth watching an additional 40 minutes to explain to me what I already knew, that I did not like this movie.
Yeah.
And for that, we will ask the almighty question of...
How many Panharmonicons does this get? 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 Spit. -5.
Wow.
I
all the way
didn't
to those
like this. I considered -4.
Oh, okay.
But then the more we talked about it, I'm like, no, I don't.
Don't
I
want this
think there
movie
were
to be
2
made.
cool shots of the film that I enjoyed that didn't last very long, but didn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Feels like nothing meant anything.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things. I have a question though. At one point, when she went into the cab after the accident towards the end of the movie, was her sweater originally gray, and then when she gets out of the cab, it turns red? I feel like at one point her sweater changed colors.
Oh.
I don't think it changes colors as much as, like, the lighting changes. So I think it's supposed to be some, like, kind of weird, almost, like, kind of, like, brownish color. But then, like, when we get into the ship, I think they put a filter just over everything that makes things, like, dingier looking than they normally are, which is why I think it looks like gray. And I think they just continue that all the way up until they forget about it again when they get back into, like, the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And, like, they start to loop over again, probably because they only did that, like, one time. And use that lighting from, like, those shots.
Yeah.
And where, like, it appeared that more sun existed, which gave it that, like, more saturated.
Yeah, because I'm just picturing, like, her beige, like, tank top, like, with the spaghetti strap thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember a sweater, so.
One last thing. That her son's haircut, though he was only shown briefly, was atrocious. I don't think anyone needed
Tommy, bad.
I think
a lot of
we
short
got
straws.
more characterization of Tommy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just simply because if you are going to say that a kid has autism and then show just like
He's
not
got
like
blood aversion, I think, is
like,
really the only thing we've
it's just
seen.
like, if that makes it seem like, oh, an autistic kid is someone who's just like a terrible child who's just always screaming and knocking over stuff and just being a menace. And it's like,
because at least in that instance, it was him seeing his mother in the window that caused him to knock the thing over, and then she just smacks
starts
up on
beating
him
him for no reason. It's like, you're showing that she's a horrible mother, but you're also really badly characterizing the concept of like autism.
Yeah.
It's like, don't do that.
Exactly.
You could have just made her a bad mother without the autism.
Yeah.
He could have just been a kid.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would have been the same thing.
Right.
Because anything that he was reacting to are like things that I think are probably fairly
Pretty
legitimate
traumatic.
for him to.
You saw his mom beat his mom over the head with a hammer. That sucks.
That's
I would be
justified.
crying.
Yeah, that's a justified. You see a seagull hit the window, now there's blood on the windshield. Probably.
That's bad.
You got spooked by the fact that your mom just walked into the laundry room, but then there's another version of your mom outside the kitchen
Staring
window.
at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking
You just showed me a person who just reacted in the ways that you wouldn't expect.
For a child to react. Yeah. Oh,
They're
Lord.
getting beat for it.
Yeah. So I could go. I'll give it a -2.5. There were some cool like seeing all the pieces was like really cool to see like how the loop was. But then to your point, none of it mattered. Like and you're just like, oh, okay, well, sick, good job, guys. So yeah, that's me. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
So I was originally going to give it a 2 out of 5.
Oh.
Because I was being nice because I thought you liked this movie for some reason.
Thank you. I appreciate that, though.
But now he's got a -5.
But now it is a -2.
Okay.
There is a structure that this movie has that could have worked.
Yes, for sure.
Like there's even writing in it that could have worked. But then it feels like the people who wrote it thought they were better than they really were, and maybe they didn't, and they just wanted to hide it amongst a bunch of like obfuscation and like J.J. Abrams-esque like mystery boxes that don't have like real answers or solutions, and they thought that would get them like some points. They don't. You got rid of points. You could have had some if you thought to make a better movie.
Yeah,
and they failed at that. I did have one thing that annoyed me, and this is really kind of all movies when they do this. I dislike it, and it's when something occurs, and then two people that it kind of occurs to do not talk about it for like a long time. And it happens. This happens at the beginning of the movie, and it's when Victor first runs across Jess as she's coming out of the cab, and they talk about her son, and she's doing her weird like mouth agape crap, and then Greg comes up to talk to her, and then it is not until they're like on the boat. Victor has set sails. They are sailing, according to Heather, because this happens like as the same time that Heather wakes up. Just and she's like, "You've been asleep for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Why are they just now talking about when he talked to her at the dock about her kid? That would have been you would have been like, okay, hey, Jess, you can get on the boat. Hey, Victor, what the hell was that about?
Yeah.
That's not a let's talk about that hours ago. I'm surprised Victor even knew what he was talking about. Because all he says is, hey, man, what happened? What was that about back there? I'm like, back what? Back when? What happened? Did I not set the sail correctly? Like, what are you talking
did I miss
about?
a knot? Yeah.
I hate when movies do that. Just talk like a normal person would talk about it right then and there and get it out of the way. Why would you? Like, what were you really holding on to him talking about her son? Like, anyway, -2. Do better.
Yeah. Amazing.
I love that
Very
punctuation there of just do better.
Do better.
Yeah, you really need to, because that wasn't it.
But hey, back to the ice spiders thing.
You know
So,
what?
hey, follow your dreams, kids.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
Because I had many ideas that I think like, oh man, that might not just pan out. And these people wrote a whole horror movie and got a Hemsworth in it somehow.
Yeah,
but
spent $12 million.
Spent $12 million and didn't make any of it back.
Nope.
So that was 2009's British Australian, not to be confused with the South Korean Japanese triangle. Let us know what you thought about this movie, and if it is a classic of yours and we trampled all over it, it happens. Apologies, but
Not really.
not everyone's going to be in. Not everyone can knock one out the park.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sometimes you actually just miss. And let us know what you thought. Drop a comment. Subscribe if you can. Hit that notification bell if you haven't. Follow on Spotify. Give us a rating of 1 through 5 if you can. And above all else, thank you for listening and hanging with the boys as we go through another episode of Panharmonicon Studios Presents.
A podcast.
This has been Damon.
The boat noise? Oh, this is Andrew. Sorry.
This has been Boat Noise. This has been Farron.
And thank you for watching.
Catch you in the next one.
No point trying to save the boy. There's nothing anyone can do that's going to bring him back. Can I give you a ride?